It's coffee time. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice to drink coffee. I have been so chilly all evening, and it was weird. I felt like I was a scene out of a strange movie. But I'm all bundled up, right? I have like 3 blankets on me. I have my Snuggie on backwards, which to the untrained eye looks like I'm just wearing a perfectly normal sweater. I've also got my little tie blanket, which I'm sure some of you out there in the world have made these before. I have one of these that I made, and then this one a friend of mine made in a trade. And I keep thinking to myself that it would be really fun to do another trade like that, because we did it in college, where we just all drew names out of a hat and then had to make tie blankets, and you had to use 2 different fabrics that you thought reminded you of the person. So, like, I wound up with a weird print, and the guy was like, yeah, because you're Scottish. And then the front has a bear on a tractor, because I love tractors, and tractors were the first thing that I ever learned how to drive, and all of my friends knew that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I felt like I was out of a weird play or a weird movie, because I'm all bundled up, right? I'm in my little chair. I'm like, I've got my cats. And then all of a sudden, this was like 30 seconds ago. This was like right before I started making this video. I start hearing an extremely loud helicopter, just like blastingly loud. And thank goodness I hadn't started the video yet, although actually that would have been awesome. But anyway, so I hear it going over my apartment, and it's the specific type of plane or helicopter that they use when they're doing a drug bust, or when they're looking for an escapee, or somebody's been called in and they can't find the person. So they have these helicopters that just have huge beams of light that they just like go around like looking for people. It's crazy. And I just heard one of those go over, and I was like, oh good. There's a murderer on the loose, or there's a drugs bust happening. Oh, that's exciting. So that was me. That was me a couple of minutes ago. Long story short, I'm very cold, and there's a drugs bust. So, although today at dinner I was eating a lot of ice, which I've done since I was a kid, and apparently it's very bad for your teeth, and I need to stop doing that. But like, when they bring you a cup with water and ice in it, I'll drink all my water, and then I typically won't refill my water. I'll just start eating the ice. And it's apparently like a sign of an iron deficiency or something like that. Also, when you're... they're pink right now. But when your nails have, like little white spots on them, that's also a sign of an iron deficiency, I think. I don't know. I don't think that my nails have dots on them, though. Aside from sparkles. Okay, I'm done. It was so funny. This morning I went in for Daily Bite, and Michelle, my makeup girl, was looking at me, and she was like, should I put silver or gold on you? And I was like, I don't know. She was like, I'm going to put gold on you. It's going to be really sparkly. And I was like, okay. And I've literally had glitter like sparkles all over my face all day long. And everybody's been like, what's going on with the, did you put like some of that sparkle body gel on? Oh my gosh, you guys, do you remember that stuff? Specifically girls. I'm talking specifically to girls, but some of the guys might have had this. This like body gel that you could put all over yourself that just shimmered. Oh man, that was a big deal in middle school. Guys, that was the coolest thing. It rocked so hard. Okay, so wait, I totally forgot to tell you anything. Well, not forgot. I didn't tell you anything about yesterday because I fell asleep instead of making a video. Oh no, it's peeling. This is what happens when you put on nail polish and then you put a top coat on it, and the top coat comes off without the rest of it. It's just a weird see-through layer, and then everything underneath, if you're using a glitter polish, feels very rough and coarse. Anyway, you have so much energy. So yeah, yesterday was pretty uneventful. I ran errands all day, but the big highlight was I wasn't sure what Sam was going to make for dinner. Before I left to go run errands, I was like, be sure that you text me what you need for dinner. Like things that you need from the grocery store, and I'll bring them home, and then you can cook. And he was like, okay. So, like halfway through the day, he texted me and was like, okay, I need arugula, or rocket, as they call it in England. I need arugula, I need plantain chips and an avocado, Dijon mustard, and yellow mustard. Those were the things that I had to get. And I was like, what is this? I started speculating wildly in my mind. I was like, I don't know what this could be. I honestly have no idea what this is. But I made a guess that wound up being true, that the plantain chips were going to be some sort of a breading. And it was. And I have to say, it was delicious. It was plantain chip covered ground sausage. And then the mustard was used along with raw honey, which we already had, to make a homemade honey mustard. Delicious. So one of the things that was on the list was, not my list, but just the list of ingredients, was bacon fat. And so what we wound up doing was just like making bacon and then using the bacon fat that was left behind. But I hadn't thought about the fact that in this scenario of you just putting bacon fat into a pan, it wouldn't be boiling hot the way that it is after you've made bacon, right? So we had all of the fat, and then he was like, okay, so then I put garlic in. I was like, okay, cool. So we put garlic in, and the garlic immediately turned brown. And I was like, oh no, that fat, that grease is like so hot. It's just burning the garlic immediately. And he was like, no, what are we going to do? That was the only hiccup that ever happened. Did the rest of the recipe, and it was delicious. It was so good. And since we made some bacon, we got to have bacon on the side. So it turned into the plantain breaded ground sausage with avocado on top, and then an arugula salad, and then bacon, and then the honey mustard drizzled over everything. And it was delicious. And we watched Solomon Kane while we ate, and I have never heard of Solomon Kane before. I had no idea what it was. Apparently there are many Solomon Kane short stories. Did not know. And that was very fun. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what we're watching. And he was like, don't worry about it. It's great. I was like, okay. So we watched like the Solomon Kane movie, I guess. But apparently there's also like an anime. There's a cartoon. There's like all sorts of different iterations of Solomon Kane. So, hey, calm down. What are you guys doing? Just running amok. Running all over the place. So that was our evening. And then, man, right after that movie was over, I just passed out on the couch, and Sam played Dark Souls for a while. And then eventually he just carried me to bed. And I was like, cool, bed. And fell asleep. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, man. So then today was Daily Bite. And then we did Friend Zone. Friend Zone is now going to be weekly. So pretty much every Friday I'm going to have a very long day, which is fine. I honestly enjoy doing Friend Zone a lot. So I don't mind doing it every week. It's not a big deal for me. I get to just dress up in an animal costume and then play games and talk to a camera sometimes in the middle. So it's fine. It's a fun thing to be doing. So yeah. Did Friend Zone, and that was very fun. I want to hang out with Comic Book Girl more. I love her. I think she's great. She's like one of the sweetest people, and she's got sick tattoos. Oh my god, I love her tattoos so much. Every time I'm around her, I'm like, all of this. I love everything that's going on here. It's just great. I feel like I did something in between. Oh, that's right. I made, speaking of food again, sorry. I decided, because I still have a bunch of almond flour left over, I was like, I'm going to try making almond pancakes. So I did. It was so easy. And they were bland. I feel like they could be really good. What you doing? I feel like they could be really, really good. And we had some fruit that we hadn't eaten. So we just chopped up like a bunch of fruit and had that with the pancakes. But I was like, man, these are good. You can absolutely tell that they're not made out of flour, because, I mean, like, almond flour is just like dried out almonds that have been processed to a powder, right? Into like a flour-like consistency. So they're I don't want to say crunchier, but kind of. They don't stick together quite as well. And I don't know how to fix that. But the pancake itself looked beautiful. So that was nice. I was like, it looks like a pancake. I mean, it looks like a pancake. It's kind of exciting. But it didn't taste like a pancake, and it wasn't fluffy like a pancake. And I don't know. I tried to let the batter like raise a little bit. I left it alone for like 10 minutes so that it could get a little air. But even then, they weren't super fluffy, but they were okay. So I think that it's a good base recipe, the one that I used, and we can like, oh, what's in my eye? We can like improve it from there, or try to. You know, I might as well like keep trying to make them, because I got like a lot of the weird sorts of flours and things that you can get, at least around here. The brand that you can get them in is Bob's Red Mill, and they always come in like a bag like this. So if you only need it for one recipe, you always wind up with some left over, which is fine. It just means that I have some almond flour that I need to find a purpose for. And that's currently what I am trying to do, is find a purpose for my almond flour. But after Friend Zone was over, we were going to be getting dinner with a few friends. And it turned into more and more and more friends. And more people backing out, but then deciding that they wanted to be there anyway, and then backing out again. And I somehow was put in charge of trying to figure out where we were going to eat. I was like, originally it was just going to be Sam, our friend Samim, and I, and that was it. And as I was asking Samim what he wanted to eat, and he said he didn't care, and I was like, oh, I haven't had K-barbecue in a while. And he was like, all right, cool, K-barbecue. And then it turned into there were more and more and more people getting involved. And Samim decided that I was going to choose the place, and I was going to schedule all of it, which is fine. I never do that. So I was like, all right, that's fine. I can do that. But at the same time, I don't know restaurants very well, and I also get overwhelmed easily. So I was like, okay, I can do that. But after, like, it kept fluctuating how many people we were going to have. We weren't exactly sure when everybody was going to be free. The first 3 places that I called were like, oh, we can't take any more reservations tonight. It's too packed. I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. So I eventually became essentially worthless. But in the end, I did wind up making the final decision, which I felt good about. The final decision wound up just being, okay, we're going to this place at this time, and if you can come, then feel free to come. Because it just got too convoluted. But never before have I appreciated the people in my life that are willing to try and get a huge group of people together to go to dinner. Like, that's, I don't know how anybody does it. It's so confusing. Like dang. Like, for real. It's so hard because, you know, everybody has different things that they want to do. Everybody's on different schedules. And eventually you have to hit a wall where you're like, okay, well, if you can't make it, then I'm sorry. That's too bad. And we wound up, at first, I thought we were going to have 10 people, and we wound up with 6. And that was fine. 6 is a perfectly respectable number of people to go out to dinner. And we had delicious food. So I picked a K-barbecue place that turns out is apparently one of the best K-barbecue places that you can go to in Los Angeles. But the problem was that it is Friday night. So it was packed, and we got there, and they said that there was a 2-hour wait, and they refused to take reservations. So we were like, all right, okay. So there was a place across the street that we went to instead, and it turned into one of those situations where we were like, let's just get one of every appetizer, and then, like, just share all of it. And so we just had a table filled with plates of food. We were all just like picking at everything and eating and talking, and it was really fun. Something that started off like, oh my god, this is getting too convoluted, I don't even want to do this anymore, wound up being a very, very fun night. So that was good. That was very nice. And 2 of the people that showed up are people that I haven't hung out with in forever. I was like, I only ever see you at work, and we only ever talk about work, and I'd love to actually hang out with you, like a friend, like friend times. And so we got to hang out like friend times, and that was awesome. And I think this weekend is gonna wind up being pretty chill. I think. Because tomorrow I have to make videos, but like I don't have to leave the house. And Sunday I think we're playing Gamma World, which is gonna be awesome. It's the same. The hole in my thumb that I caused myself is almost gone. So that's great news. I can't believe that I did that still. Still cannot believe that I sliced my own thumb with my own nail. It's very strange because I normally just don't have nails. So like when I'm able to grow my nails out a little bit and things like this happen, I'm like, what? This has never happened in my life. I've never hurt myself on my own nail. That's very strange. Aside from when I was a little kid, I used to scratch my face in my sleep. That's no good. If any of you still do that. I did that up through high school, I think. I would wake up in the morning and have just like little faint scratches all over my face. And it was because I was just like I'm sorry, my nose is itching really bad. It was because I was scratching my face in my sleep, which is terrifying. So it always looked like I just had cuts all over my face. Like really faint ones. They weren't like dark, but it's no good. It's because I bit my nails a lot, so they were always really jagged. So like if I was like itching my face or like doing anything like this in my sleep, it would just scratch. And I wouldn't realize it until I woke up. So there's your creepy story for the day from Duger. But I'm going to go to bed. I hope you guys had an amazing day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.